It's New Brew Thursday! Woo! Brandon's like, I'm too good to woof with you. So, all right. So we're at the CBC. This is the Craft Brewers Conference. And so now it's Saturday. It's like the last day of the conference. Everything's kind of wrapping up. Everybody's perpetually hungover. Greg?
All professionals here.
Professionally hungover. So Greg, we talked a little bit earlier about the fact that from a brewing standpoint, Stone's gotten to the point now where you have other responsibilities than roaming around the brew house throughout the day. And so when you come to a CBC like this, you know, what did you take away from it that you feel like that's gonna help you in the industry? And
are we at the beer drinking portion of the show yet?
We should be, yes.
Okay.
We're drinking the Stone Pale Ale, and we should drink beer and then talk. I apologize for that.
I was just...
I don't know. I'm off. Like I said, you know, I'm off my game. I'm a little hungover, so.
I like how your priorities are set.
And maybe a
cheers.
Cheers.
For sure.
Brandon?
Cheers.
Brother. To answer your question, what did I get out of the CBC this year? And it's actually hard to nail down to one specific thing. You sort of absorb all the collective wisdom that's going on around here. So I didn't have an aha moment, and that's not because I know it all. It's just because there wasn't one thing, but it's a lot of small things. And here's one thing that I'm really taking away is that. You know, this isn't new. I was just saying, we have an amazing group of brewers who are continuing to do great things, and I'm just going to start sounding like I'm just, we're like reading the company line.
Right.
I believe this is a very sincere.
Should we get your bullhorn out?
Yeah, well, this would be what's called preaching to the converted.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Well, no, it's true. I mean, just even in the weekend that we've been here and. Getting to see a lot of the brewers that we don't get to see on a regular basis and talking to them about what they're doing at their brew houses and stuff like that. It's amazing to see everybody get together and have so much fun and collaborate with each other and share ideas and thoughts and whatever throughout the whole course of the weekend. So, Brandon, now you...
Well, I'm going to say that the one seminar that I actually really wanted to go to, I unfortunately had a conflict and couldn't attend it, and that seminar title was So You're Opening a Second Brewery in North Carolina.
Yeah,
really curious.
That seems to be the running meme here. So, I just heard that Garrett from My Brewing Company is going to open up a new one in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Traditionally brewed Hawaiian brews from North Carolina.
Right. Well, evidently, as we've been shown by another Hawaiian company, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, really.
Now, Brandon, you're obviously not Stone.
Correct.
You guys have been open for a little over a year now.
Yep.
Iron Fist is small. You know, you are the brewer. You were the guy that makes all the beer. What do you as a smaller brewer take from an experience like this? Is this your first CBC or?
This is actually the first major industry event that I myself have been a part of. And so far it's been really cool to just be able to kind of mill around with colleagues, with people that are, this is their life. This is what they love to do. Whether it be from the distribution side, from the brewing side, from the product side, and...
Sorry, there you go.
Sure. And for us, we've made a lot of really good connections with people on all sides of the brewing industry, which has been really worth coming out for. I really want to come back next year and just see what we can do and continue to grow, because that's really the stage that we're at right now. Is we really want to grow, and this is really kind of helping us make that happen.
Right on. Well, part of this year's CBC, every 2 years you guys do the World Cup, the World Beer Cup, where you win awards and everybody gets excited.
It's like one of the penultimate beer competitions.
Aside from GABF, this is the biggest one in the country. So we took a few minutes.
Penultimate?
Yes.
It's the second one?
Second to biggest.
Is that what that is?
Second to biggest.
I always misuse that word.
Yeah, you do. We've talked about this in the past.
Thank you for correcting me, though, yes.
I didn't correct you. I just wanted to clarify. I want to make sure I was completely understanding what you're...
Okay, ultimate. It is the ultimate.
Yes.
The definitive.
The definitive. Well,
definitive when it's an international competition.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I can't win with you.
Keep trying.
Well, we're going to let them hash it out with fists while we go and talk to Luke from Epic Brew. Well, we go talk to
if
Luke.
you just didn't do the thing with the tongue when you screw up, that's what I looked over there and I'm like, I can't unsee that.
I can never unsee that, yes. Okay, so we're going to go talk to Luke from Epic Brewing Company in New Zealand, who was one of the judges for this year's World Beer Cup, and we'll be back in just a minute. I'm here with Luke Nicholas, who is the head brewer, owner, creator, god of Epic.
God, oh epic.
God, oh epic, yes. You're one of the judges here, though. You judged the World Beer Cup,
yep,
yes, which is a part of this year's CBC. Tell us a little bit about the process, about what do you do when you're judging, like, what does that entail? Like, you just drinking beer and getting drunk with a bunch of other brewers, but like, yeah, high five, your beer's awesome, you win.
Yeah, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah, you're sitting at a table with 6 or 7 other judges. This year there were 2/3 of them were from overseas.
Okay.
So I think they're trying to get a good representation of experts from around the world, like people from Germany, sort of judging cultures, and just people with the knowledge base for those styles from around the world that, even though American brewers are making great ones, sort of like they've got their origins in other countries and bringing in
it's like, are you living up to the German Hellas?
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is sometimes the American palate can be very driven by sort of the desire to have a lot of hops, which I'm not opposed to, of course.
Clearly.
And
Hop Zombie would say otherwise. No.
Indeed. And so, yeah, there was a really nice mix of sort of local and international judges to come to the table and sit there and have their own points of view about a style and can argue the style sort of from different angles and how people perceive sort of what's written down to how a beer should be judged. So we're sitting there, 6 or 7 judges at a table, and we brought out flights of beer because some categories are sort of 50 to 100 entries. So there'll be like 3, maybe 4 tables doing a flight of 10 or 12 beers.
And how much of the beer are you drinking? Like
some beers you don't even want to really drink a whole lot.
You know immediately, like you smell it, you taste it, you're like, no, this is not even going to be in the top 10, so let's just put this aside.
It's faulted, so so the first rounds you're having to write notes back to the brewer, so it's sort of like, what does it look like, what does it smell like, just feedback to the brewer saying, hey, this is what we experienced, and maybe this is why your beer didn't win a medal.
Pass muster, yeah.
Yeah, so with lots of entry categories, you'll do first round, so you put 3 forward, and then there might be a second round, and all the ones put forward, they get judged again, and then that goes on to a medal round, which can be sort of like anywhere from 6 to 12 beers that get judged for the actual gold, silver, and bronze.
Excellent. Okay, so is it because you're a brewer that you're qualified to judge, or is there some sort of process involved in that?
Well, when I got invited to be a judge the first time back in 2006, you had to have 3 recommendations from current judges.
Okay.
So they basically had to write a recommendation letter to say, we know Luke, we know his background, we know that he's judged before, we know that he's a pretty good brewer, he's won some top awards, and that gets put through to Chris Swersey, who organises all the judging.
Okay.
And he brings people on, but as the competition's grown, more and more people have had to be brought on. We had 218 judges this year, having to judge nearly 4,000 beers.
Wow.
So it's...
I would love to judge 4,000 beers.
Actually, this
all
year...
on a day.
This year, I only...
And by judge, I mean drink.
Well, sometimes you get to middle rounds and it's like, wow, these beers are amazing.
So you sit while you're judging and it's like checking on all Untapped? And
I wish. But then
you don't know. You don't know what beers you're drinking.
Little plastic cups.
So it's actually a legitimate thing. I mean, because here in the U.S. they have the BJCP, Beer Judge Certification Program. Now you're not in the U.S., but are you BJCP certified? Do you take that? Does that matter to you?
No,
is that something that's...
We tried to run it in New Zealand, but it gets very hard because you actually have to have tried most of the styles of beer to do that. Well, we don't have access to those.
Right.
Well, some people have a mule, but most people don't.
My mule died.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yeah.
He was
we were still in mourning about that, so.
So yeah, it's
right on.
Tough to.
Because I mean, it's like this is something that the breweries are going to use as an advertising marketing. They're going to put this on their bottle.
Yeah,
that, we World Cup 2012, we won this, and so it's important, like for the average consumer, to know that this is not just a bunch of brewers getting together and stroking each other and like, yeah, your beer's awesome, high five, you win this year. It's like it's a legitimate competition where the judges they're blind tasting, they have good palates, they know what they're doing, and when a beer wins, that's not just a masturbatory self-exploration of brewers high-fiving each other. It's like an actual good job. You made an awesome beer, and this is worthy of a medal. So
yeah, and this is the best example of this beer in the world.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you very much for taking some time. I know you've been busy running around, and I look forward to drinking mass quantities with you this weekend. So mass quantities.
Is that a metric mass?
We'll argue over that over some beers.
Excellent.
It's a liter. No, it's a pint. Shut up. Given the immensity of this event in San Diego, this is the first time the CBC's been in San Diego for how many years?
Well, it's 4 years, and then it was here 4 years before that.
Okay.
And you're talking about immensity. For perspective, we had just over 2,000 people here the previous time, so 4 years ago. And registration for this year's CBC closed a month earlier than usual because it was filled up.
Right.
So we have 4,500 people here this year. If anything sort of suggests the direction that we're going, I think that's one of them. We do not have a large enough conference hotel. So why did we have it here instead of somewhere else? Because we booked this, the association.
Right.
And I was actually on the head of the event committee for a few years, not currently, but you have to plan these things
so far in advance.
In advance. And so we're fortunately next year at the Craft Brewers Conference in DC, there will be no restriction on attendance. We're in the DC Convention Center. It can handle
100,000 people. But I mean,
and the trade show floor is also going to be substantially bigger.
That's awesome.
Almost 100% bigger. That's not an exact figure, so don't quote me on it. But I was going over it in the event committee. That was also a disturbing thing. You just
I know. I was telling the audience to quote you on it because you said
okay. That looked like a crude gesture. So.
I don't know what's happening here. I think next time we need to separate the two of you, apparently.
Maybe just separate myself.
Well, I have to say,
is this doing the right thing for my brand?
Nice.
Here right
Yes.
Of course. Says the guy wearing a kilt.
And the beard. The beard is impressive.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you about the beard. Can I? Am I allowed to?
I was hoping you would.
Am I allowed to? Can we get an explanation? Because I mean, 6 months ago you were clean cut guy in a blazer. Now you're mountain man Greg, who's possibly setting up a militia somewhere in the mountains of California.
Okay. That's an interesting description. Everybody has their own description for what they
perceive as happening on your face.
I guess so.
It's very Santa Cruz.
It's See, there's another one. Well, interestingly enough, the way that this beard all happened, I stopped shaving.
Stopped shaving and I hit puberty, so the facial hair appeared.
Good thing about girls.
Yeah, my voice got deeper. And I started saying,
at this point in your life, you'll start getting hair in different places of your body.
Somebody threw out the phrase, you can remember this for the rest of your life, and
exactly.
The rest is history.
I wasn't taking it weird, and there you guys.
Hey, gotta take it there. New Brew Thursday is all about taking it to the next awkward level.
Yeah. Well, you see, now I feel comfortable, so it's all good.
I will ask you this though, Brandon. You're in an industry full of men with beards.
Yes.
Do you ever feel out of place?
I feel that like a couple days worth of scruff gives me a little bit more credibility, but I do all right.
Right on.
Brandon's working that whole baby face thing.
Yeah.
I think it's working for you, bro.
Cheers.
Nice. I have to say though, one of the biggest things that impressed me this year is the San Diego breweries really stepped up, and they have just come out in force for the CBC. I mean, the Tiki Bar that's associated with the CBC has 140 taps on right now, which is like the biggest jockey box I think I've ever seen in my life. It's a great example of like how San Diego, the breweries in San Diego really come together and work together to create awesome events like this.
We wanted to put on a good show, and I think this is a moment to say really a big hats off to Jeff Bagby. Jeff took the reins, the control, and gathered everybody together to make that project happen. He did also. He was one of the key people 4 years ago when we did that. And also to the San Diego Brewers Guild. So I want to actually give a cheers to Jeff
Bagby.
And everybody that put all that significant work.
And if you can find them, there's still the who the fuck is Jeff Bagby shirts floating around out here somewhere. So, But I want to thank both of you guys for taking time out of your schedule, because I know it's busy. I know it's about learning and drinking is what the last 4 days have been about, and it's a great combination. But thank you both for sitting down with us and talking about the CBC, and can't wait till next year in DC.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, we are collectively moving this needle, and I want to thank you guys for the work you do. You know, in the video blogging community, the blogging community, the beer enthusiast community across the board, we together we've become a mighty force.
Right,
absolutely.
Right on.
Things are changing, and you know, there was a while where, like rock and roll in its early days, will this happen? You know, there are a lot of detractors saying, no, it's just a flash in the pan, it's a fad, it's going to go away. And I think we're now at the point where not only people on the inside, like us, we're like, no, this is not going away, trust me.
Right.
Are you kidding?
Craft beer is here to stay.
The populace is really kind of clicking in on this.
Yep, definitely.
And why are they doing it? Because we, collectively, and the brewers around here, we've given them a goddamn good reason for being enthusiastic about what we do.
Absolutely.
You know, this stuff, not just mine by any stretch of the imagination. So,
right on. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. And as always, until next week, stay safe and drink beer.
Cheers.
fucking don't touch me like that. Dude. Just because I'm wearing a kilt, not cool.